Welcome back to Rodecast, guys. Hope you're doing well out there. I'm your host, Rod, as always. And in this video, we're going to be talking about more awesome ICE raids in Chicago. And in this one, we're going to be looking at illegals literally screaming their hearts out and literally crying on video as they are taken out of here by ICE agents. Now, before you make the mistake of feeling too bad for these people when you watch these videos, which a lot of our compassionate white people tend to do, remember that these people had multiple opportunities to get the hell out of this country in their own way after breaking in. By the way, they're not even supposed to be here. But the Homeland Security Department spent a multi-million-dollar ad campaign where Kristi Noem herself explained to these people exactly how they can get their $1,000 by going back to their countries, okay, peaceably without being dragged out like you're about to see here. But did they do that? No.
President Trump has a clear message for those that are in our country illegally. Leave now. If you don't, we will find you and we will deport you. You will never return. For too long, weak politicians left our borders wide open. They flooded our communities with drugs, human trafficking, and violent criminals. They put American lives at risk. Well, those days are over.
So they had an opportunity to leave on their own. They won't do it. They want to invade and remain forever. And now, so they're being removed forcefully, and that's what you're about to see in these videos. So keep that in mind if you feel tempted to feel bad for these people, okay? America is a house that was not built by them or their ancestors, but they want to invade our country and remain here against the wishes of the people who actually did build this country. That would be me, okay, and my ancestors, and all the ancestors of the other Northern Europeans who built America.
After two women being pulled from a small blue SUV by ICE agents.
The agents surrounded the SUV in the school pickup line.
Wait, you guys came to the school and to do this?
I don't have a warrant. They haven't asked for a warrant. My name is Jocelyn from Cicero. They don't have a warrant. They didn't ask for one. They forcefully opened the door of the truck. It was locked. It was locked.
You're going to record this. Don't get any closer from me, all right? Like, cool? Just stay back, please. You're being arrested for the
Yeah, but you guys came to the school?
Out of the car. They forced us out of the car. They were following us. They were obsessed.
Whoa.
My sister, help me. Help me.
Everything that they were whining about, that she was whining about, they were allowed to do. They're allowed to follow you. They're allowed to track you down, and they're allowed to drag you out of your car and arrest you. Okay. There are exceptions made for cars. That's why you will see agents breaking down the windows, because they're allowed to do that. Your car is not your house. It has less privacy protections. Okay. So the law is complicated there. I'm not going to get into it. The point is, it's illegal for them to break your windows and to drag you out of your cars. And especially, most likely, these people were specifically targeted. So most likely they have an order of removal against them. Notice what she didn't say. She never said that she's a citizen. She never said that she wasn't illegal, because she is. Okay, and that's why ICE is doing this. Okay, it's more important to notice what they're not screaming when they're getting justice handed to them. Okay, she wasn't screaming that she was a citizen, because ICE doesn't deport citizens. They might arrest citizens if they get in the way of ICE doing their job. That's the only circumstance in which American citizens are arrested, and they have been, because a bunch of bleeding heart liberals care more about foreigners and protecting them. People who invaded our country, they want to protect them more than the actual citizens. So sometimes American citizens do get detained, usually short term, and then they're released after the altercation is passed and ICE has done their jobs. I think they should all be charged with crimes, but DOJ hasn't been doing that for some reason, which I don't like. Okay, but I always respect prosecutors and their prosecutorial decisions. They have discretion. So, but I don't like that so many of these left-wing open borders people have been let off without charges. I don't like that. So I don't know what the U.S. attorneys are doing on that. I hope they have a good reason for doing that, but I would like more of them charged, because a lot of these protesters, they're arrested and they let go. But anyways, getting back to this thing, this one here is screaming and crying after she invaded our country. And like I said, she's had many opportunities to leave, but she doesn't want to do so. She wants to stay here forever. And of course, once again, like with all these people, they're ugly and disgusting and always a square. Their whole bodies are fat and a square. Okay. It's hideous, man. These people, their language is disgusting. Their appearance is disgusting. I just don't want any of them here. And they have no right to be here either. Look at the entitlement of this one, okay? She broke into this country, but she's actually yelling and screaming, like claiming that the police are doing something wrong. The entitlement of these people is like their ancestors came here in the Godspeed or the Mayflower or the Sarah Constant or the Fogel Grip. That's the ship that my ancestors came here from Sweden in 1638. Okay, these people pretend like the entitlement they have is like, I broke into your country, but I'm going to complain about how the police are doing something wrong when they remove me. I broke federal law by invading America, but I'm going to pretend like I have the right to do that, and the police are the ones who are wrong for arresting me. That's the level of entitlement these people have. Okay, they're always screaming about something, and for a rare chance, this one speaking English. Okay, so at least she learned the language, unlike many others who don't bother to even do that. They're screaming in Spanish. And speaking of that, let's get to the next video. Oh, by the way, before we move on, I want to let you guys hear from the person who actually filmed this, some bleeding heart black woman who's crying for these illegals. This is the one that was filming in that other video. So this video was posted on New York Post, but originally it came from this one, who was a teacher at this school where these two women were in front of. Okay.
I was scared for Jocelyn's life. I really was. I was scared. I was about to see somebody either get seriously injured or killed. Like, I didn't know.
Yes, the only way that Jocelyn would have gotten killed is that she would have had a heart attack because she's so fat and unhealthy that and screaming like a lunatic when she's the one who broke the law. The only way that she would have died is not by the hands of the ICE agents, but by the fact that she's unhealthy, and she would have had a stroke or a heart attack because she's so horribly overweight. Okay, that's the only reason that Jocelyn's life was at risk. So please, man, with the over-the-top nonsense. Oh, I was worried someone's going to die. Please, please.
I was scared for Jocelyn's life. I really was. I was scared. I was about to see somebody either get seriously injured or killed. Like, I didn't know what was about to happen. So my body just, like, even just talking about it right now, it just makes you feel very uncomfortable. That's not something that we want to see. It's not something that is fair. It's not something that's okay. Like,
really. And when was your outrage when these animals invaded our country, the country that was not built by their ancestors but was built by mine? Where was your outrage then when people broke into our house? That's what America is. America's my house, built by my Northern European ancestors. Okay, where was your outrage then? Were you screaming about that? No, you didn't even know about it. You didn't even know about it, and you didn't care either. Because people like this, I don't know what her ancestry is, but let's say she's an FBA. She has no respect for her own ancestors, her own black slaves who actually built America, partly, along with the white people in this country back in the 1600s. She has no respect for her ancestors. And that nose ring, you know that she's an anti-American person, a masochistic, self-hating American. That's what this one is. There's a lot of them. There's white ones and black ones. They all have nose rings and they all hate America. And they want America to be raided by these foreigners as much as possible. And she only thinks it's unfair when we drag them out of here. Not when they invaded our country and took our jobs and every other opportunity away from a real foundational Americans. She didn't care about that one. That one wasn't disturbing for her. But when the illegals get removed rightfully by the law and by the police, following the law, that's when she has a problem. I can't take these people seriously. Okay. Your selective outrage just makes me sick. And the ICE agents did exactly what they were supposed to do, and I support them 100%.
I needed to cry because that was very scary. The last thing that I saw was just...
She literally cried for the illegals. You heard her say it. She literally cried for the illegals. Did you cry for Laken Riley and Rachel Morin and many of the other women, white women who've been raped and killed in America? I doubt it.
Something that's okay. Like, I needed to cry because that was very scary. The last thing that I saw was just them pushing her into their car. I didn't know where she was headed. Right? Like, this woman could end up just completely not okay. And I didn't know if...
Yeah, she's headed back home to Mexico, and she's going to be perfectly fine. She's the one acting like we're putting in a gas chamber. Really, we're just taking her back to her country where she belongs, because she doesn't belong in George Washington's Anglo-Saxon country. That's where she doesn't belong. Okay, all right, I'm done with her. Let's move on to the next one. This, again, more hilarity. I love to see these disgusting tacos and burritos and tequilas get dragged out of here, man. As somebody who finds the Spanish language to be disgusting, is the most disgusting language ever invented by mankind, I love it when they scream like this, okay? Because I've heard this language so much, and all the people, like, I would make Spanish illegal. It would be illegal under federal law to speak Spanish if I had my way. That's how much I don't want to hear this language. And I love seeing people who speak this horrible, disgusting language get dragged out of here, because I don't want a single person speaking. It is vile and inferior. It is the worst thing to ever come out of Europe. I cannot believe that it came out of Spain, but it did. And that's what makes Spain disgusting too.
¿Cómo se llaman?
¡Ayuda! ¡Ayuda! ¡Ayuda!
¿Cómo te llamas?
¡Por favor! ¡Por favor!
Yeah, nobody's gonna ayuda you, man. You're gone. Okay? Nobody's all helping Juan over here, because nobody can. You broke the law. You invaded a country that you're not supposed to be in. Now you're getting your ugly ass dragged out of here. And ain't nobody can do nothing about it. If they do, they're going to be arrested. Even if they're U.S. citizens, they can't help you. You're gone.
Where's your humanity? Where's your soul? This is how you treat people? Humans?
Yeah, they're not the same humans as me. And this human argument is getting very old. Ted Bundy was also a human. Should we give him a 10-course dinner after he cut up white women from throat to scrot? No, they're not equal humans to me. They're criminals. That's a different category of humans, and we're going to treat them as they're supposed to be treated. Okay, you can take your bleeding heart and invite all the criminals and serial killers into your house and have dinner with them. See how that turns out for you. Okay, this dummy over here. Oh, where's your humanity? My humanity is for my tribe, for my blood. That's what nature has intended us to be for, and that's what I'm for. Okay, I care about my people. You are not my people. None of these people are my people. Okay, so get your Spanish-speaking asses back to your own country. You don't belong here. Okay, that's my message to all these people. You are not my type of humans, and I have no obligations to you. Okay, I have obligations to her. I have obligations to her. I have obligations to my other family. I don't have any obligation to these taco-eating Juans. I don't have any obligations to you. Okay, humans are a tribal animal. No matter what the globalist left says, that's what nature created. And we all care about our blood and our people before we care about a bunch of losers on the other side of the planet. I'm fundamentally against any ideology that promotes love for foreigners and love for people on the other side of the world. I don't care what happens to kids in Africa. They're not my problem. Their parents are going to have to take care of them. My only obligation is to my family, to my blood. I don't have to care about them. It is not my responsibility to care about them, and I'm not going to feel bad about that either. That is the natural way that human beings have been designed. And you can learn that when you study anthropology. Both cultural anthropology and physical anthropology will teach you what kind of physical beings we are and our capabilities, our brain's capabilities. Worrying about people on the other side of the world or in other countries is not what our brains were designed for by nature. Our brains are designed to care about the local situation that's going on around us. That's why most people don't give a damn what happens in other countries, and neither do I. And that's not something to feel bad about. That's something that's natural that we should embrace. Those people are going to have to take care of their own countries. This globalist thinking is a big mistake, and it's only done negative things for America. It hasn't made us better. Bringing all these third worlders in here hasn't made a life better for Americans. It's only screwed us over. And I'm done with it. And I hope to make sure and show clearly to other Americans with my videos that they're making a big mistake by buying into this globalist mindset. because it's a big mistake and it's unnatural fundamentally. And that's all I got to say for this video. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys in my next one.